Hey, you guys. It's Wydning J, CEO and founder of Exquisite PR Firm, and I'm the host of Exquisite Conversation. Comes on Thursday nights at 10 p.m. and also Winding Down Late Night Conversation, obviously Sunday night at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 8 p.m. Pacific Time. Um, we're gonna do a single show tonight. Ashley Marie will be popping in at any time, and Jay Menace came back tonight. A surprise visit. I had no idea. They dropped some jewels on us tonight. He just dropped his new hit single, you guys. New hit album. You guys want to go out and purchase it. And he also just popped a video out. So you guys be tuning in tomorrow at 12 afternoon. We got a big surprise for you. What's up, Jay?
What's the deal? What up? What up? Still family?
Still coming. I mean, man, he gave us so much energy last week. We had a ball. We were laughing and having a good time.
Y'all got people calling me about that damn interview, man.
Really?
No, the most notable. It was a gang of people who called me, but the most notable, my mom called me, right? So my adopted mother, for all intents and purposes, is my mom, which is Quan's mom, right? So she hit me up. Now she had a stroke about 2 years ago. I want to say 2 years ago. So her speech is a little slow, right? Like, so when she calls, she don't really go on long rants. She usually get right to the point. But she had me on the phone like 30 minutes, like talking about all the stuff y'all had me talking about, and it was a good interview, and like she liked where I'm going. She proud. I'm like, what? Look what the hell y'all started. Like she was acting like she knew, like she don't know what's going on. So that's y'all fault. Shout out to my
I
mom.
really felt like we got you out of your shell. I don't think you hear the word Jay Menace. The word menace is huge. Everybody knows what menace to society is. And so Jay and the people who know what that's for, and then you got menace. So I really felt like you just got outside of your shell and you were just I seen like from the people behind the scene that's behind the scene, not my team, but these people that's behind the scenes, producers, people that were navigating and putting together this winding down and this exquisite thing. Showed me a rollback, and if I showed you this rollback and showed you how you were laughing and smiling, I was like, if he saw this 20 pictures, you were just everything, laughing, face covered up. I was like, yeah, we got him outside of his shell. That's what's up. So
okay, you plotting and planning. Okay.
I said, this is like family. It was a really good show, and you were really honest and transparent. And so, yeah, I wasn't expecting you to come back due to the fact that we were at a video shoot yesterday for Chains. And the video shoot, y'all, I don't even want to let nothing. I'm gonna let y'all see what drops tomorrow. I'm gonna just let y'all see that. I'm not even gonna say nothing, but if I've ever been to anywhere that was just like shut up and don't say nothing, that's where I was. I just was like, I couldn't even say nothing.
That's how you felt?
That's how I felt. It was good. It's just like I don't even know. Like I plugged into a source that's like forever going. And I just can't wait to see what happens in 6 months. I'm like looking down the future at that scope, you got to kind of do it like this, but you see it, but you got to straighten it out. I'm waiting to see that start out now. I see it.
We own it. Getting in.
And so I don't even know, y'all. I didn't even start the show like I normally start. Hey, I got to the left of me. Somebody in the building. What's up?
What up, man? King Jacob, man. Yours truly, man. Just here, man, on the Winding Down podcast, got, national recording artists with us tonight, Jay Menace again. And we're going to be, talking about that community development, the restructuring, rebranding, and, how we should impact the youth, because it's hard for the youth right now, man. They see a lot. I never thought that the youth would see all these, stuff on the news and all these videos that's circulating, man, with the police brutality and how they got the gentrification going on in the community, how they're moving us out and building the high-rise townhomes and, the high-rise condominiums, and just moving a lot of the black people out to the outskirts and moving the rich folks in the inner city. So, um, man, Jay, I brought you on because I want you to drop some jewels, man, because I know that you're a well-rounded person and you deal with some of everybody, you know what I mean? And so, I just want to see, how do you see what we can do to rebrand and restructure the community and to impact the youth in a positive way so they can really understand how they can navigate out in society?
Man, that's a deep question, bro. Like, because I have these discussions often within my inner circle, man, and I love my people, man. It's nothing like us, man. It's nothing like people, nothing like black people. I love our people, but we are tough to love too.
That's
Uh,
true.
and so, while it's not our fault, I think I do think there was a certain systematic development to, dividing up the household and then working on the mindset of not just men but women, and then of course it affected the children, and then you got the different drug epidemics, and all of that plays a role, right? And so to me, it's such a loaded question to say what's the one thing we can do, because I don't think it's one thing you can do. Also, I'm kind of at a point where like you just got to start in your household, and then you affect as many as you can along the way. Because it's all mindset. Like we so divided, like unfortunately, like here. And I'm only speaking in like the USA from what I've seen. But just so divided, like how do you conquer a divided, mind frame? Like every other I dib and dabble with everybody. I'm closer with white people, Latinos, Asians, all of them, and everybody comes from a different culture. And I'm privy to be around those cultures because I bite off ideas from them. Like, oh, that's a dope. I see why y'all do that. That's a dope concept. We don't really have nothing like that. Like, unfortunately, that we can just hold on to and say this is the black family construct. You do it like this, and this is successful, and it'll work for generations. We don't have that. We for everybody else, unfortunately. So I really don't know how you go about that, man. Like I wish I had a better answer. All I can say is make sure your household is in order. Make sure your family is good, and then, like I said, reach out and help everybody you can along the way, especially the youth, anybody young. Um, that's the best answer I got, while staying politically correct. Because if we was off camera, I'd say a whole bunch of other wild stuff.
Right. They gotta like music. We cool.
Right. So Nicole, would you like to, piggyback off what Jay Menace said?
I can
Because
definitely piggyback off what Jay Menace said, just because of the fact that I have men now, and young men that will be men, and young women, and upon them growing up, just as a parent, if you can afford it, because we don't have anything, like he said, that's a unit that we can hold on to. We're forced to give back to whatever economical program that they have built for our children. If you don't come up with a basketball game, or you don't come up with something for your kid to do, you're going to pay into a project that someone else is doing, so that your kid won't be in the street, so your kid won't be misled, because you got to go to work. We talked about this before, and I think it was Ellie. And hey, Ellie, if you hear, what's up? She's a manager, and much more. Parents have to go to work. So if the parent has to go to work, the mom has to go to work, the daddy has to go to work, what the kid's gonna do? You got to send them to karate class, basketball. You got to do something in order for them not to get nectared in with the community, because and that's going to happen anyway. And what I've learned is, being a parent, is even as a kid, you don't have to teach a kid nothing wrong. You don't got to make them tough and fight. That's going to happen. They're going to go to school. They're going to be around other kids. And it's gonna happen. Kids are the most meanest thing sometimes to people, and the most, heinous. They can hurt your feelings. So you don't have to teach a kid those things. They're gonna learn it. You have to teach them the right things to do, and we don't have that. So as a community, as the elders, because I would consider myself as the elder, the next gen, um, coming to government and going to your city council and going to these places as a unit with other people that are on, go to the town hall meeting. A lot of us don't go there. I know that it's on Tuesdays around here, so I know that's where to go if I want to get my point across. Go to the teacher parent conference, go to those things that you need to go to get your point across in regards to how to keep that community together. And if they could build, I don't know, maybe if we can be more impactful. And I myself, I know how powerful the internet is. So I always want my kids or my younger ones to try to, you always on the computer, make you a podcast, do something positive, talk to your kids at school or talk to other people. And at least I try to plant a seed. I throw something out there, and I always know when the light comes on, because they'll say, well, what would I do? Or you see the light come on in your kid. And I try to say something to keep them going. 6 or 7 years ago, my second to the oldest daughter, I tried to get her and my other daughter to start a radio segment, because I was into radio at that time, heavy, and I was on a radio show, and I was trying to get them to start one, but they live down south. I was up here, so it was kind of a imbalance. But at least I'm like, well, when the summertime, when you guys come up here, then we can roll it out and just keep, whatever you can do. Like, what do you guys feel about guns in school? What do you guys feel about, have you guys, Black history not being in the school? All you hear about is Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. You don't hear about anybody else. If you don't do your own research, you won't know, that a Black man built the White House, or you won't know these certain things. That Ford was really made by African Americans. So just the lack of knowledge and the inability to keep things going as a generation is hard, because we too hate on each other a lot. We don't like to see each other do better.
So you saying start, like, I don't mean to cut you short, but you saying like starting a house and then
I'm saying start,
and then go to the schools and then take it to another level, to like
yes,
a political background.
Absolutely. Or and even at the church, take it to the church. Take it everywhere you can, wherever we are. Maybe more rallies. That's a hard question without touching touching some nerves, I must say. I think that we touch some nerves if you say what you want to say. And I see where you where you went with
I want to hear
that.
what I want to hear what David got to say, because after hearing your answer, I'm definitely I'm gonna touch some nerves. I'm gonna piss some people off. I just want to hear what Jacob got to say first before I piss anybody off. I want to have a well-rounded piss off. That way, I can want to say.
Well, for me, man, when it comes to that community development, I can only go by what I've seen, and so I'm 47, so I kind of grew up in an era where it was my pops, his friends, my uncles, and then their friends. So it's like if you was out a certain time, then they told you, get your ass in this car, you going home, or they could chastise you. But now, what I feel like within the community, a lot of the OGs, in the community, are not like the ones back in the day. Like as they say back in the day, your ass can't be in grown folks' business. They ain't play that back in the day. As we say down south, stay in the chat place. You know what I mean? Stay in the chat place. So I feel like the structure of it has to be a separation. I'm the adult and you the child. In that friendship where you trying to have these kids to be your friends. No, you gotta really let them know. Because I can tell you this, when my daddy said something in the house, it felt like the walls tremble. Like real talk, facts. You know what I mean? So he ain't really played no games. But I think with the rebranding and the restructuring, the community development, man, I don't think kids are hard to deal with, man. I think they haven't been dealt with as far as on that type of level. Because you got to think, if you have a child, that his dad doing 30 and his mom been on heroin his whole life and his grandma is left to raise all 7 of them, and she's got old and tired and she can't really move like she used to. So the next best thing, you know, he might have a buddy, be like, man, I got you. And he gonna introduce him to a whole nother lifestyle where the money comes in so fast until, like when you 14 years old, bro, and you 14, 15 years old, and you making $5,000, $6,000 a week, you know what I mean? Like you ain't trying to hear about you need to do this, that, and the third, and man, you don't need to be in the street. You need to get a job. You really ain't trying to hear that because your sisters and your brothers got to eat. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it's an iffy situation when it comes to the ones who don't have versus the ones that do have, and that's why I take my hat off to a lot of the old heads that had the mentorship programs that got the young boys out the streets. You know what I mean? And so I just think with somebody like you, Jay, with somebody like Nicole, somebody who really got knowledge on how to navigate and how to be successful. And I think these kids would be willing to sit down and talk, because one thing about being successful, it ain't easy, because you didn't come from an easy background, and so but you made it through the threshold. So I'm gonna call you a proven producer. You know what I mean? On how to get to the next plateau. And
Salute to
what
that.
yes, sir. And what I can say, uh, you can be a type of guy where you can register. You can have that conversation where it registers with you, where you can talk to a government official, or you can talk to the school teacher, or you can talk to the dude that want a second chance, that want to start a new home improvement business, and you can show them how to do that as far as paperwork. So, with that being said, man, um, I think mind over matter, everything. So once you can get into their mentals, then they can really vibe with you. But you definitely got to have that listening ear. So that's my take on it.
Yo, I'm gonna tell y'all a short story real quick. Like, so I used to do motivational speeches, right? And I went to John Hope on 55th and Low. That's in Inglewood, so like right off Halsted, right? And I went back here because I'm plugged. All the teachers like know my whole family and everything. So occasionally the principal will hit me up like, "Man, I know you're busy. I know you're doing whatever. Can you drop by?" And I distinctly, this was 3-4 years ago. Distinctly remember going in there and I had my phone out and I was on my phone. I was texting somebody else. I was heading to the first. I was doing like 3 different classes, and I remember one of these teachers that I didn't know. This was some new teacher. Was like, "Man, you better keep your phone on you. Or you better put it up or something, or I wouldn't even take it in there, something like that." Or don't. No, what she said was, "Don't sit it down." And I said, "Well, why?" And she was like, "Because they'll steal your phone. Like, so you might want to hide your valuables." So she telling me this as I walked in, and I probably said something that pissed her off, but I was like, "Well, yeah, of course they're gonna take your valuables and act crazy if you treat them like that." Like, yo, I'm from down the street. Like, I'm about to talk to them. Like, I'm from down the street. Like, and I set my phone down and I chopped it up with him, man. I was cool with every class, and there's nothing but respect. So the part that I would say, bearing off of that story, diving a little bit deeper and being hard to love, it is a disconnect between generations, between that that Gen X and then I forgot what generation I'm in. Damn. I'm not nigga. I can't even think right now. But the next generation, like there was a construct of you did this, you followed the rules, you played this, and I get that that was like an older generation, and then my generation came in, and it was like the entrepreneurial, and we don't want to do that no more. We want to make our own stuff. Then you got Gen X that has no goddamn guidance at all, in my opinion, and then you got the next generation where my kids gonna be in. And I think I was lucky and slipped through the threshold because I had enough OGs around me and I actually paid attention. But everybody ain't like me, man. And I do feel like there were a lot of people in that generation that gave up on the youth and didn't drill enough stuff home because they didn't want to follow that construct no more. It's a lot of lost souls in my generation. Most of the people I grew up with dead or in jail. That's like real. Like it ain't no cliche. That's real. But I think had people tried a little bit harder and treated them a little bit different, and not to say that nobody owe nobody none, but this is that community mind frame I'm talking about. Like not to just, I mean, just keeping it a buck. If we were white, if they were Asians or we were Latinos, would that be the same? Be like, nah, bro. Like even if you think different, you still about to. I'm still about to drill this home. You still about to do this for the fam. You can think different, you do all that, but the family, this is how I want this to go. And you're gonna set up the next generation like that. And there is no diverting off of that path. It's only a few scragglers out from that. Why we don't have that? And that's why I say it's got to start with your family because, man, I get it. It's tough, man. Like it's tough dealing with my own family and their mindset, but I have it in my mind, especially since my brother got killed, that I don't really care what my family is doing. I don't care what wrong they did. I don't care how much I don't like some of them or whatever. When I'm on, we on. And I'm gonna make sure everybody got an opportunity, and I'm gonna make sure my daughters know what wealth is and know how to build, and I'm gonna make sure that they set up my grandkids. And then, I think if we all do that, then you build a construct. Then after you build your construct and you have that strategic mentality, then you take it to the political system because you actually got something. I actually got a community that's really behind me with some real ideas, and we really gonna stand on it. You know why? Because we all in unison. We all thinking that way. But if all of us doing this, everybody reaching for that idea, and the youth don't fuck with it, excuse my French, but youth don't mess with this generation, and that generation don't mess with that, and we don't show enough. It's a lot of successful Black people too. We don't talk about that. Like all the hell we talk about is all these in the ghetto. There's plenty of Black people in the suburbs. It's plenty of Black millionaires. It's plenty of Black lawyers and doctors, and we don't talk about it. It's not highlighted at all. And that pisses me off. Like I get pulled into a lot of these conversations and they make it seem like it's a big deal still. Oh, you can go and be, if you keep your mind right, you can be a lawyer. Or you could just be a lawyer because that's what you go to school for. Can we talk about it like it's normal and not like it's some abnormal shit because he's Black? That blows my mind. Or it's abnormal to see a Black doctor, but it's not abnormal. It's all over. We just don't talk about it enough. And when I say we, I don't mean y'all, but you get what I'm saying. It's not put on blast stuff. So, I mean, I know I said a lot. I know I said a lot in that, but when all I'm saying is, man, we got to connect that. We got to do better. We got to do better for us. And then I think you take it to other places because I think the reason white people are so powerful is even if they don't rock with each other, we got the same construct. And we know how to get behind some stuff together. And we need that, man. We need that. We need that from people. I take responsibility for that. And, I know y'all leaders and y'all respect the community. And, y'all accountable too. Like everybody, like anybody that made it out of that and able to give back, that's really the calling, man. Got to elevate.
Right.
In my opinion, in my humble opinion, by the way.
Well, it's your opinion, but it's facts. I'm gonna tell you, even just because I drive trucks, the most amazing thing that I saw when I first started driving was in the middle of the wintertime, Christmas vacation. Everybody that not only were they owner operators, but they were just truck drivers for a company, and they had their sons with them. And their sons would be young, 8, 9, even smaller than that, out there with their little scarves on and their little mittens, showing them how to crank this 80,000, 75,000 pound container on the ground. Little guys couldn't even do it, but they be out there just struggling, trying to help their dad, and it would just be so nice. And I'm a lady, I'm a woman for real, for real. And it's just so cute. I'm about to cry. I'm like, oh my God, like they're showing them what to do. Now, upon staying with that company for some time, 3 years, 3.5, whatever, I literally watched some kids go from like 15 to 18 or from 17 to 19 and then be able to get in the truck and know how to navigate that truck and be able to move that truck and get their license because this is what their father, their papa, their whatever showed them to do, regardless of whatever it is they want to do. A band, be a rapper, sing, have a family, travel, I don't know, maybe even be a banker. Before they do that, they're going to give their father what he put in them, what he instilled in them. They're going to show him this is what I'm showing him this for a reason. And they're giving them solid trades, something that no one can take that away from him. If everything that he ever does doesn't work, he'll have that to fall back on because he started at 8, 7, 6. He knows exactly how to farm, how to do whatever it is that they do. So I understand what you mean when you say they start at home. Why can't we start at home? Like, let's figure out something. What does this kid talk a lot? Let's start teaching them about law. Watch Law and Order on the TV for a little bit. Get them in tune. Plant a seed is what you got to do. And then feed the seed, water it, make it grow. You know, it's easy. The same way you tell a kid, I'm going to buy you some candy later on, and they just believe you. Your kids believe everything that you say. Everything they do. They believe everything that you say. So you got to tell them the truth. You got to tell them the truth. Because my son said something to me the other day. I was talking to him. And as a matter of fact, I think Jacob heard this conversation. And he was like, man, as a mother, like you talk to him like with some real gangster, real, because I'm not playing with him. I'm not talking to him because I'm just talking to him. I can't show him how to be a man. I can't show him how to be a man. But what I'm going to tell him is everything that I'm going to say to him right now, if something happened to me tomorrow and I fell off the face of this earth, it's going to resonate with him for the rest of his life. I need him to understand how this thing works, you know, how life works and how to know about politics and money and where money comes from and how it's different than everything. I tell my kids everything. My oldest son always tells the other kids, Mama gonna give y'all $1 million worth of game if you just listen to her. Just listen to me. Give me some time. Sit down for a minute. Let me holler at you for a second. I'm gonna tell you about girls, everything, life, work, and just keep that going. Like, you know, I need him. He didn't want to play the saxophone. He didn't want to play the saxophone. His grandfather was trying to get him to play the saxophone so that he can, at least if anything were to happen, like I just said with the Hispanic child, he'll be able to play and make him some extra little money, you know, on the side, on the weekends, if you want to.
No, not extra money, Nicole. When a saxophone player gets an agent, or a drummer, or a guitar player gets an agent, and they have like, we all know who Fred Hammond and Marvin Sapp is. So
Yeah.
I had a buddy, right? So he's out here from South Carolina. So every time they would come in town, they would ask him to play with the band. And so after that fifth or sixth time, we asking him, they was like, well, why don't you just come on the road with us? And so he did 50 dates at $5,000 a show. You know what I mean? Just playing that guitar. And
well, this is the thing. This is that Generation X that Jay Menace is talking about. That I want to do what I want to do. I don't want to do what you want me to do. I want to be me. Just let me be me. I want to be free and fly like a bird and that's fine. You can do all of that, but learn this. And it was like pulling teeth from me. He was not going. Right now, my kids are musically inclined. Their mother, I play the piano. Play the guitar. I've been playing since I've been 6. I hated it. I didn't want to play no guitar. I wanted to play the drums like Sheila E. Like why I got to play the guitar for? My fingers they were sore. I didn't want to do that. So my kids are, he was trying to instill that in him, and I was just trying to tell him that, baby, at least if something happens while you playing football, just say you don't make it to the NFL. Just say, and if you don't, that's they think everything has to be sports orientated. As African Americans, we can only play basketball, we can only play football, and that it's hard. We can only rap. Like it's hard to get in these places, but you can get in. But just in case if it doesn't, and then you go to be a physical therapist, if you want to make some extra money on the side, baby, you know how to play the saxophone. That's what he's trying to tell you. I had to just put it in his head a different way instead of making it feel like he's forcing you to learn the sax for nothing. He just wants you to play the sax because that was his dream. That's not my dream. Okay, I understand. So if you don't want to do that, well, then he told me that I don't want to be the picture man because his grandfather he's a photographer. I don't want to take pictures. Anything. He just don't want to do what nobody else wants him to do. Okay, well, can you just try? Just because that's your papa, man. One day he's not going to be here.
Yeah, he was just trying to teach him how to fish for a lifetime. That's all.
Right. But but it's that Generation X. Just, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you tell them, they know I'm going to do it my way. And not that their way doesn't work, because they're very intelligent and they make things happen fast. First time I ever seen a 16-year-old make $15,000 in 2 weeks and didn't sell drugs. I mean, first time I ever seen it, I wanted to get into them stupid then because I felt like something was wrong with me. But and showing me like, look, this is what people are doing. The internet, this is Forex, this is trading, this is okay. But planting a seed is the most important thing. And knowing how to water the plant. You got to know how to water the plant. You're not going to feed roses the same things that you feed a dandelion. And what I mean by that is my daughter that's really like, Mom, I feel like this and my heart is broken. And, I'm not going to talk to her like my daughter that's like, a little bit. I can't water that plant the same. I have to water the plant how it needs to be watered. Each one of them I deal with different people all day, and they're my kids. Everybody's different. And you have to figure out how to make it work. And that's only because of me being around other intelligent people talking about the community, talking about how to make these things happen so that our kids will want to bring the other kids with them that are the same skin color as them to fruition, and don't look at the other races and want to navigate towards them and feel like we ain't got no hope. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
I have a child that chose a college that's primarily Caucasian and not HBCU because he might make it further with these people. It very well may be true. I don't know. But because his mind state is like that, that tells me that he's looking at his own kind in a different way. And that scares me. That scares me because that's not true. I need you to understand something. The mechanism that they use is great as far as keeping things together. But, I need you to understand that over here, it's some people over here that might be left behind, honey. And I need you to love us just as much, But, I went to a primarily a white school, and a lot of my friends are Caucasian. And not because I chose them, but because that's what I have. That's what was handed to me, and that's what I got. So, maybe, I don't know. I seen things in a different way. I seen things in a different way too. So, like he feels like, he can't go anywhere because every time he goes somewhere over here that we get in trouble over here all the time and go to jail. And that is real. That's not statistics. That's real. But how do we change the narrative for the next generation? And I want him to be able to either, come up with a systematic plan that maybe you can help us get there and not leave anybody behind when you get of age. And it's scary, man, when you see it like that, because I see one of my kids don't want to deal with no white people. Think something wrong with all of them. And so because I have so many kids, it's just really funny watching them move, watching their friends, watching how they navigate, watching who they hang with, watching who they hang out with. And then I have the kids that are like me. They just say everybody loves everybody, Chinese people, white people, black people, whatever. It doesn't
I
matter.
think it's the style of my fault, Jacob. Did you want to say something, bro? Because I know me and Nicole just been on like
Just
2
No,
wanted
minutes.
to
go ahead.
say, I think Jay, and you a parent, Nicole, you a parent. I think, I don't know how it is nowhere else, but I know in the southern states, grandmamas and parents and uncles and aunts and community leaders, they talk about HBCU since I was yay high to a grasshopper. So, and then a lot of my friends, like, because I lived in the DMV area for 12 years, DC, Maryland, Virginia for 12 years. But a lot of my friends up there, they only know about Howard University because it's up there. They know about Howard University, Coppin State, Morgan State is up there. But, if people understood how many HBCUs are across the nation, man, whew, a lot, bro. A lot, man. A lot. So you gotta think it's about 6,000 HBCU colleges across the nation. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of schools, man. So, and with that being said, I just think if you a black person, you definitely gotta know how the historic black colleges were started and why they were started. You definitely gotta know about Dr. Mary Bethune that started Bethune Cookman um in Florida. And you know what I mean? And she's right here from Maysville, South Carolina. But she went down there and started that whole college. You know what I mean? So you gotta definitely think when they wasn't getting but 3-4% of the grant money for college. The HBCUs was the last one to get the grant money. But they made it happen, through what we do in the community. You know what I mean? Through cooking, bake sales, car washes, having ball tournaments. And a lot of those was donated by the HBCUs back in the day. You know what I mean? So, you know, for black children to learn about historic black colleges and universities is very important. That's just my take on it. It's very important. Not saying they have to go there, but at least they need to know why it was started.
Um, I feel both of y'all coming from. I'm gonna hit on some Nicole was saying. I think it's just the style of message, and what I mean by that is, um, a part of the reason I am the way I am. Like, it's something we didn't touch on. I ain't gonna take a lot of time on it because I don't think this is about me. But it just explains my message a little better. I was adopted by a case manager that stayed in one of the shelters, and it was basically an alternative. Else you go back to DCFS, or you can come with me, and that was easy. I was like, "Yo, all right, let's go. I'm with you." But he was real. He was heavy in the streets, but he was a militant dude. And it's kind of what makes me the man I am. Like, it was like, yo, the bed got to be made, or you getting effed up. Clothes got to be folded in the drawer, you getting effed up. Get up on time, you go to school, you responsible for that, or you getting effed up. Ain't no sick days unless you die. You got to play a sport. It ain't no choice. And you going to train before you go to school. Mind you, he adopted 3 other boys too. Um, we had to train before we went to school. We had to play a sport. We just didn't have options with a lot. You had 2 hours of study time by the time you come home. You had to we had to recite stuff out of the dictionary every day. And I used to hate it. And we had chores, and I hated all of it, but I get it now. Like, what it taught, like, his main thing is like, yo, you have to be a seeker of knowledge at all times. And that's where I got that from. I think I mentioned that to y'all last time. That was his words. Like, at all times you are a seeker of knowledge. So if I would ask him something, he'd be like, well, go look it up. I'd be like, dude, just tell me, you know the answer. Nah, go look it up, and then come back and tell me the answer. And I kind of live my life like that, and I'm on my daughters like that. The same way, being seekers of knowledge. But that being said, going back to my original message, which was, I think he got through to me because he switched the style of the message. He was close enough. He wasn't really, he was older, but he was close enough in age where I could get that message. And I think we get so caught up in this generation or that generation. And to me, I'm going to take a little bit of what the old school did that was dope, what my generation did that's dope. Gen X got some dope stuff going on. And then you take that, we supposed to be learning from each other, man. I don't want white privilege to go away. Everybody be like white privilege is nah. I just want to be as privileged as they is. That's all.
That's it.
I just want the same opportunity. Like
That's
I don't think the privilege should go away. I don't think there's nothing wrong. I have nothing against white people, clearly. If anybody that studied my background. Nothing against white people, Asians, or whatever. And I don't think they need to change anything. We just need to learn from each other and develop that message a better way, not only to our households, but to the community. It's what my rap style is too, just a separate note. Like the whole J Menace brand is based off of I'm adaptable. I could take any generation you want me to rap with and I can go and rap with them. And I can do it, and I feel like I can do it better than them. You want me to go 90s?
This is true. This is true, bro.
Do it now. Like, I can do your choppy, whatever you want to do. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna do it better.
Yeah, you really amazed me, bro. Like I ain't gonna tell no story. Like I was like, okay, like cause a lot of the old heads or a lot of people that grew up in that 90s era listening to hip hop lyricists, you know, like he like coming from the shop. To me, coming to the lyricist. But you know, like I see you how you switch your style up, man. It's sort of like DMX and Damien. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know how you really switch your styles up and like, man. So this one he sounded like he was LA. Now he sounds like he's from Chicago. Now he sounds like he would Gucci them on Boulder Crest in Atlanta. And now he sounds like he had the Marcy Project with Jay.
And it's so intentional. So if you listen if you listen to my album, you don't got a reason not to listen to at least 2-3 songs off of that. You heard? 2-3 songs. I don't care where you coming from, what generation you are. It's something to enjoy. And that, but I don't want to talk about me. I mean, going back to the community, like I really think that's so important, man. Just the style of message and how we go about it.
Yeah, I think keeping it, like you said, and me and my son, we were talking about something. Everything that you said today was on point for anyone that's out there that is listening. You can't teach the new kids. Like you can't bring them up with the old message. It has to be mixed up. Like it has to be mixed up. And when you said that teacher, I can only imagine how you felt going to talk to the kids in your community, and this lady probably think you're from the suburbs or something because you blend in well, you mesh well, you don't got the long locks and the gold teeth, and you mesh well. So she probably thought you were. I've seen your LinkedIn. I know what you look like. So she probably thought you were somewhere else. And when you broke it down to her, like, look, if you treat people animalistic, they act animalistic. That right there, back up. Like that right there probably made her, she as a person who even came at you and said that, she should have been embarrassed. You in here teaching these kids. And if you feel like that about them, what are you really teaching them? I would have been upset. What can you teach these kids then if you feel like that? Nothing. Are you even talking to them? Are you even vibing with them? Do you know what student in here is weak and which one is strong? And how do you, feed them? Or if you know that, then can you put them two together when you put people in a group and make them learn certain things? That's how you should mesh them together. You put the weak with the strong, and then they vibe off each other, and then they both come out with good grades. That's what you do. So I would have really been pissed off too. Like that's crazy. But I feel like just being in tune with what's going on right now. We're about to things have turned over into the digital era. I remember when when I was growing up, we was using that Oregon Trail. So y'all know how old I am, right? That's old, you know. So, you know, I remember them saying computers are our future.
Yeah.
And it used to be like, yeah, whatever. They used to break down so much they don't work. They don't even got an IT guy that can really fix it. He been there for a week on one keyboard, you know, under the desk, probably sleep or something. He never got fixed. He just had to come in and replace it. I came in the era when computers were first being built, when computers were big as like not a laptop, like computers were really big, like big body computers, and you could walk in and see them. So um, the way the future has came about to be proof positive that computers are our future. You have to get in with the digital era. This is the digital era.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a listen, had I had a listen, I probably would be a cyber, um, like a cyber person doing something on the web right now, rich, because this is the future. Um, and I can just remember them telling me like, you know, you can be whatever you want. You're the future. And I just wonder how many little kids believe it. And I think about that sometimes because I remember not believing it. Like, whatever. Like, you know, I ain't want to hear that. We the future. You can make be whatever you want to be. Yeah, just think, just be whatever you want. Think about it. Use your brain. We used to be like, whatever. I ain't want to hear that, you know. But now that I'm an adult and I've went through some transitions in my life, they didn't lie to me. That everything they told me was true. And I was like, damn, why was I so like hard headed? Why didn't I either just take heed? Even being a high honor roll student, I was a high honor roll student for a long time. And I thought that wasn't cool. Like that was embarrassing. I used to be like on the toilet with my feet up like this, and they used to call my name Nicole Jordan because my last name was embarrassing to me. I don't know why. And I just would be like holding on. So I would miss like going up there getting an award on purpose. For like 3 years, I did that until one year my mom came. Like, why are you doing it? And I just was like, I don't know. I think I got a whooping for it or something. Because I just didn't want them calling my name and I didn't want to walk up there in front of everybody. I don't know, but
I'm gonna say something that might piss y'all off, and I'm sorry. And then after this, family, I might have to make my exit after this because I do got something I got to take care of.
It's time. You did the whole hour.
Yeah, it's all.
Mm-hmm.
So I had planned ahead of time. I was like, it ain't gonna be no damn 15, 20 minutes. Jacob over here lying. Jacob over here lying. But I had planned to stick on to 11. But
I love it.
just something you said. I don't tell my kids this because they're not ready for that type of raw. But when they get older, I'm gonna tell them I do not. And you talking to somebody that I probably got a good 20 different talents that was just passed down through my family. God bless me with that. I do not believe you can be whatever you want to be. And I'll say that right now. I believe you can be whatever you're talented at or you're willing to work for as long as they are hiring. 100%. You can't be a singer if you can't sing, and somebody need to tell your ass you can't sing, baby. Like we need to do something. Maybe you need to write, maybe you need to do something, but you sincerely don't. That's not that talent. And it's not to knock anybody because I know some people find that like super negative. Like, man, you gonna beat it. Yo, you know, we all weren't born mega attractive. I'm 5'9.5", bro. By the way, at the half, let just fun fact, just to lighten this mood a little bit. Do y'all know the national average height for a male in the U.S.? It's 5'9". It's 5'9" actually.
Oh,
so
really?
make sure you add my damn half because I'm a half inch over.
So
I'm
you
tall.
wanted to be taller?
Huh?
You wanted to be taller?
Hell yeah, I wanted, not now, but I wanted to be tall. I was 5'5" until I was like 18. I just had a growth spurt, right? Like so, so add my half.
You want to be bigger.
But man, I'm not trying to be negative or downplay anybody, but you got to be realistic at some point, right? About what your talents are. What are you willing to work for? What are you willing to do? And to me, you should develop that. Whatever those skills are, you can be whatever you want to be in that realm. But I think that's part of the the stuff in the community too. Like we still living off this vibe of, hey, you go out and be whatever you want to be, and then the possibilities are endless. The goddamn possibilities ain't endless, bro.
No, and no, they're not.
It's not like that. I don't believe college is necessarily for everybody. I don't think everybody could be a lawyer just because you said you wanted to be a lawyer. You might not be good at that. And I don't think everybody was born, as I was saying earlier, looking mega cute. And the reason I brought up my height is because I can't go be a damn runway model. I'm 5'9". Like they want people probably over 6 feet, 6'2". I can't. Like you got to be tall. That don't mean I can't model at all. That just mean the damn runway wasn't meant for me. I can't run. I can't make myself be that height. And so it's finding your lane to me. Find that lane and find whatever the talents are or whatever you can develop and instill that instead of just saying everything. We do everything.
Right.
They'll tell you that.
But that's just me.
They lying.
But that's just me. And I want to hear y'all thoughts on it before I cut out.
I think that's true, but dreams do come true.
One.
Dream that's right there. Dreams do come true. Like they have you make that vision wall, and they make that vision wall for a reason, because you introduce you plant a seed and then you just make it grow. For some reason, you see this every day, and you'll start to focus on this, and you will start to navigate to do things subconsciously to get to this journey at the end. That's what that's for. It is not a magic trick. That's not. People, we're gonna throw a vision board party. And then they throw
that's something you're willing to work towards, though. So I agree with that. I agree with that.
But everything, Jacob, when I first met Jacob and I told him that I was a PR and I told him that I did these certain things, Jacob asked me a question. He said, "Well, have you ever modeled?" No. Oh, well, he knows a lot of models and all this stuff. And so a lot of people say, "Well, have you modeled? Do you want to model?" Because I can't do that. Not because of the assets or because of whatever, but because of that walk that they do down there. That's hard.
But it ain't like when
I stay in my lane.
when I say models, Jay, I've dealt with all types of different print models,
not doing
makeup models, hair models. Like I got friends in all type of different industries, and so a lot of times
I wasn't a model. That's what I'm saying. Like I've never done that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna try to do that. The pinky toe, the high heel thing. Come on. I know when I put on my heels and I tie them up, however I wear them, the open toes or the thigh highs or whatever with the coat, whatever I do, I walk down from one end of the living room to the next where the wooden floor is, and I say, "You got 20 minutes and a twist in this motherfucker, pair of shoes and a couple of bends and a dance and a slide, and then you got to sit down and be pretty for the rest of the night." I'm not about to do that. I know I'm not about to do that. That's too much work.
I can dig it, but it's like my granny say, "Baby, everything ain't for everybody."
It ain't.
You know what I mean?
That's what he was saying. If you can't sing, Macy Gray.
Stop it, man.
Quit.
Stop it, man.
Yeah.
All I got to say.
She can act better than she can sing. You on here talking like this.
I mean,
come on. But somebody like it. Hey.
She done sold millions of records though, bro. Like I'm just
she's
saying,
crazy.
Man.
People like crazy. People like insane. People like wild and raw and different. That's what people like. If
I just don't know,
crazy,
man.
somebody gonna buy it.
I mean,
y'all know Macy can't sing. Y'all think Macy can sing?
I just feel caught up in his cap, lady.
Man, I mean, I just feel if
she played that part good in that movie.
If Keith can beg you till you almost have a heart attack, I mean, I just felt if Keith Sweat can beg you till you almost have a heart attack, like I'm just saying, man, like because
I got a radio station right now, right? I don't know
what y'all know about
who
that
in the world be calling in on that show, but they be tripping on that show. Like I can't even take it for like 15 minutes. I grew up on Keith. I love Keith. I probably made it one of them kids to Keith for something, but just that
can't
show.
sing, though.
that he can make it last forever and ever and
He
ever.
can't. That ain't singing, man. I'm from the South. That's not singing.
When he has this show on 102.7, I think it is.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I was about to say, man, we need to get back on topic, man, because I want to hear Jacob, but
yeah,
I don't know, bro. Like that, make it last forever, bro.
That ain't singing,
I don't
though,
know,
man.
bro. Like
He sang through his nose. He don't sing from his diaphragm.
that
So I
nose
can't say
sound
the same.
good, bro. That nose sounded good on
I
that
mean,
track, bro.
I'm not saying that he don't make hit records, but
like, boy, that.
but when you talk about singing, man, like he sang through his nose, bro. Like that's not
I'm
singing.
not saying I'm not saying he Luther Vandross, but I mean
He made hit records though.
he
Yeah,
ain't a
we can say that.
he ain't a bum off the street either. Like he got a voice.
No. He ain't. He made hit records, man. But but I mean,
he made that song with Gerald Levert and
yeah,
Gerald
but that LSG
That's
album, and Johnny and Gerald made that whole album. Believe that.
Keith made his part in that too.
It don't work without Keith, bro. It don't work without Keith. I don't want to hear Levert, Johnny Gill all damn day. I don't want to hear them. It don't work without Keith. It don't work without none of them. I need all of them together.
It's a blend. You're right. It's a blend. It's a balance there. Yeah. But to each his own, man. I like.
I'm not saying he of the caliber of like what you would consider the top voices, but to say he can't sing, that's a little harsh, Jacob. That's a little harsh. We might have to pull it back. And maybe he ain't on the A list of voices. Like, but
Okay. He about to C-. Okay.
Keith ain't in your bedroom. We're gonna settle this right now. Keith ain't in your bedroom.
I bumped Keith Sweat. Yeah, I bumped him.
Okay, we done. We're done.
I bumped him. I mean,
can I go? I'm gonna.
I mean, you go. But hey, man, back to the topic, man. But I just want to ask you this before you go, bro. As a black man walking on America's soil, why do you think that it's hard for black men to show their emotions, and it's even harder for them to go talk to a professional therapist?
Oh, this is such a long question to ask, Menace. I do not want to answer this one. Are you asking from? Let me put it this way. Am I answering this question based off of what I think about others, or am I answering this from a personal basis? Because those are two separate answers.
You're answering this question on what you see from your peers.
Okay, what I see from my peers. Let me answer it from that perspective. Again, I think it started in the household. Like, the world is harsh to men in particular. It's double harsh for black men. And I don't think it get talked about enough. Even in relationships, because of my demeanor and my brother's demeanor and my friend's demeanor, we're not allowed to show emotion. You can't show it in your relationships. You can't show it in your friendships. You can't really show it in school because they'll make fun of you depending on where you at. You can't show it at the workplace because where do we get that time to be vulnerable? Even when we told to be vulnerable, if you see a man being vulnerable, he's chastised for it. But if he's not vulnerable, he's chastised for that too because you're being too harsh. It's no winning. So in that cycle, like you end up shutting down. Like you end up just kind of being reserved because it's not acceptable to be anything else. It's no open. It's not enough. I'm not gonna say there's none. It's not enough open arms to hear out men. And then as far as therapists, I don't think it's shunned upon as it was before because I know a lot of people around me that have been to therapists and seen therapists, and it's more acceptable. But if it ain't a money issue for people who don't go, then it's an issue of like we can figure that out. We don't need to go. We don't need to go there. We can figure that out. Like you gotta, and then I don't think we got the right therapist. Personally, I got a personal belief. I don't think your therapist should be able to talk to you if they ain't been through some of the experiences you've been through or they didn't come. That's just me. And that's not a popular opinion. And the reason I say that is because you're speaking to me from an aspect of
Every
trying
book.
to find my inner self, but you don't really know what the hell going on. Like it's not relatable. It's like having cops in Inglewood that grew up in Northbrook. Like, what you doing here, bro? Of course you're gonna be scared. You scared as hell when you come through here because you ain't never seen this. So all you can do is what you've been trained to do, which is why we probably have a lot of police brutality. Same thing with therapists. All you can do is what you've been trained to do, what they taught you out of a book or what they told you this look like in class. And that shit ain't always right when you're dealing with certain people. It worked with some. It does not work with all. I don't believe that. But again, I might be in the minority with that. But I think, you know, that that's my general synopsis. I could talk about that probably for hours, but that's my general
Right, right,
synopsis of what you're
right,
saying.
right. I just want your take on it, man, because I feel like mental health is very important. And I tell you, I'm one, and I shared this with Nicole that how I got through when my pops passed is I use music as my therapy.
Mm,
Like I wouldn't go talk to a professional person. It was certain type of artists that I use as therapy, and it got me through. But am I more open now to go see somebody, for counseling? Because I hear a lot of, like, I heard Dr. Eric Michael Dyson of Georgetown University. He said he thinks that all Black families need to go to therapy at least once a week, whether
mm.
it's every Thursday, whether it's every Wednesday. He said I ain't saying it got to be no 3 hour session, but at least 30 minutes or 40 minutes. I was one that used to be like, therapy, like what? Like, I used to look at it like that. But,
Mm.
now from doing my research and having friends that's in that profession and stuff like that, I'm more open minded now. So I can definitely see your point, and people are more open minded now about going. But, I just still don't think it get talked enough in our Black communities. Talked
Can I
about
say
enough.
can I say one more thing real quick? I don't mean to cut you short, Nicole. I'm sure you got something to say on that as well. Um, I got it because you gave a personal perspective. I'm gonna say it. Again, this is not a popular opinion, but I went through this period in my life where I was obsessed because I had a gig or a job, and my specific purpose was to train the top sales reps in the company, right? And in doing that, we had a personality system. I'm not going to go through the system, but I studied it and I was obsessed with it. So I had to be good at sitting down across from a person and being able to assess their personality type within probably about 20 minutes and being able to break down and knowing how to communicate and bring the best out of that person. Right. I got so obsessed with it that it transcended from just the workplace to outside of work. And I'm kind of like that now. That being said, my personality type, I don't fall on the team side of things. I fall on the individual side. I'm an action oriented person, but I'm also an innovator. So what that combines is a person who can think of something and then go put the action immediately. I'm like that, right? Like that being said, therapy would never work for me. And I've been
Okay.
to a therapist uh, a couple times. I've been to even couples therapy. And the problem is every question that they have asked, I asked it 18 times over to myself. I played every scenario out, even getting on this phone before I got here today. When I say I prepared for an hour before I even got on the phone, I'm just like that. Like I pictured, what if this went wrong? What if the voices went out? What I'm gonna do if the phone cut out? What I'm gonna do if I got my baby in the house? Would the baby wake up? Like all of this, I think about already because I'm crazy like that in my mind or whatever. So when I go to a therapist, whatever questions they ask, I've already asked it and I've already went over that. Whatever I'm doing that people consider wrong or even that I consider wrong, I've already accepted in my mind. I said, well, I don't want to stop doing this shit. Now what? Like this is like, how do you deal with that? And so I don't think I'm unique in the point that I'm the only personality type like that. I think there are certain people where therapy would not be helpful for me, but I
Mm.
see why it is helpful for so many. Because my
You know,
personality type, while there are others, I think my personality type is unique. Most people have a mixture of like different things. It's just my unique blend of personalities. Like I got that already. I go through a therapy session every goddamn day. Trust me. Asking myself inner questions, outer questions. I put myself in other people's shoes. I empathize. I do all of these things because I'm obsessed with it almost. Like I'm obsessed with understanding people and understanding myself. That being said, when I'm not saying anything that you said is wrong, I hope you don't take it that way. I'm just saying that I think it's different strokes for different folks.
Right,
And I think
right.
some people should definitely be in therapy, and I think it's definitely helpful. So I'm not sure. I'm not shunning it, and I think it definitely helps them discover themselves. But some people could do that themselves. Some people might need a little bit of therapy and different strokes. But I think it's more widely accepted.
I can tell you that how I use music as therapy. Listen, bro. Like I've did that with kids. Like I've did that with a homeboy of mine that couldn't reach his son. I said, man, let me try to reach him through music. I told him to pick a series of songs on how he's feeling. Pick 10 of them. And he picked all 10 of them. And he told me why he felt like that way and how he related to each song. And I wrote it down and I showed his dad on a piece of paper. And his dad changed the whole narrative on how him and his son communicated. For real, man. That music, man. Yeah.
Therapeutic one.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
but before I go, Nicole, did you want to say something? I don't want to cut out with us.
No, I'm vibing. I go see somebody all the time.
100.
I see somebody twice a week, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. First and foremost, I had a nervous breakdown 15 years ago. When my father passed away, that was my best friend. That was everything that I had. That was my breath. That was everything that I had. So my kid's father passed away in January. My mom passed away in September. So we talk about two major hits at one time. And I still had to keep face and help my dad. And then had to bring my mom home to my dad. They were married for 36 years. He was bedridden. He couldn't make it to her funeral. So I refused to let him not see his wife before she went to that funeral, to that church, for the funeral. So I did whatever I could do, and whatever it was I did. I knew what the consequences were, and I did it anyway. And I had them people bring my mom home. They got my mom out of the hearse, out of the hearse, and brought her in the house. We broke my dad's hospital bed down, took the sheet. We had to pick him up on the sheet, scoot him over, and broke the casket down, rolled my mom up, and put him close to his wife because he promised her she would come home before, she was going to be okay. So I brought her home. I made sure that happened. When I got home, he told me to put my hand over his leg, and I did that. And he said, you're going to be blessed for the rest of the days of your life. I was behind me. I was like, I wish he hurry up because this is a bit much. I kept face. I know how to keep face really, really good. And then my father always prepared us for death because he was sick. We grew up like that. My dad was sick. He let me know I'm not going to be here for a long time. I'm going to teach you some things about life so that you could take care of your little sister and you're going to be okay. And he did that. And I was able to do it. A whole lot of things about life that can't nobody take away from me. And I'm going to always know how to make it happen for me and my sister, be able to provide for my family. Now, with that being said, when he passed away, it hit me like a ton of bricks. So now everything that I know, my kids dead, my mom, my dad, everything that I know to love me gone. So I woke up one day and they were calling my name and I didn't answer because I just was gone. Like I had to get some therapy. And now today, here I am living this life, this new life. And I talk to somebody every Wednesday and every Saturday, the same people. But I talk to the same people because what I don't like to do is bring that up and talk about my everything over. You can't give me no new doctor and have me talking to nobody because I don't want to do that. So I'm an introvert and I don't deal with a lot of people and I don't have a lot of friends to pour over into. So I talk to somebody on Wednesday in case I might have a storm. If I have a storm, we could talk about it. If I don't, I ask her, what's going on with you, girl? Because that's my friend now. Spend a lot of time together. Then from Wednesday to Saturday, ain't no telling what life might bring. I don't want to hit a brick wall. And so Saturday comes, she called me, girl, what's going on? You cool? Oh, I'm cool. What's going on with you? Nothing. You feel like facilitating this group for me? I might facilitate a group for it with some people that need to talk, and I listen and I pour over into them. But that's why I do it, because it's necessary.
I think that's dope though.
Yeah, it is.
I think that's dope what both of y'all do. Like, to be 100, whether it's going to see people or going through music, or I think it's dope. So again, before anybody try to take any snippets of this, I'm not shunning that at all. I think it's dope, especially if you out loud have to get it out, which most people do.
Women,
Huh?
women, a lot of women like to talk. I
Nah.
think,
I'm a jab back on you on that, because remember when
really?
I first said it, like, this is where I think the disconnect is, and I don't want
Mhm.
to speak for all men, but yo, I want to say some stuff too. I need somebody to hear me too. Especially when it comes to relationships. Like, I think I probably would have been different. I think I'm this way because I had to learn to be this way. I don't think I was born this way.
Mhm,
I am a
mhm.
product of how I grew up,
Yes.
and my mom being that way. Even my mom, I even my real mom. Like, we not close now, but if I try to talk to her, I can't talk to my mom. Like, it just, I can't talk. I couldn't talk to the people around me. I had to figure out an outlet, or I would have went crazy or did something crazy. I had to figure out an outlet. And so it put me in a position where I had to start asking myself those questions. And I had to, so all of the things that the therapists are asking, it's not that I'm just this self-trained, God-gifted person. Like, it's just the events that I went through in life that made me be that way, um, that I
Do
am
you ever
now.
think
But
about if that didn't happen? Have you ever thought like what I wonder what I would be if this? Have you ever because you
I
said that
have. I
you
think about it every day. I think
right
about
now
it
I
every
think
day.
like you too. Now see, this is what's amazing about me. The way you strategize,
Mm.
think ahead of I just the people who are around me this close, they notice about me. Everything to go on, I'm here with it every time. I don't even sleep that much, man. I sleep for 2 hours and I'm straight up in the bed like, okay, I got to do this. I'm ahead of the game. Or what if this were to happen? I'm a product of my environment. So if that didn't happen to me, what type of Nicole would it be? Would it be this Nicole who I am right now, who was retrained and re-downloaded into, or would I be somebody different? I think like that sometimes.
Well,
So
no, we would totally be different. But what I tell people that's close to me, I wouldn't trade it in, because I don't think I respect that other Jay. To be 100,
mm,
like, I'm dope. I used to think I was weird as hell, and I had a
that's
problem.
what I say. Like I'm
Until
extraordinary. Like I'm
I
extra.
got obsessed with those personalities. And then I realized what that taught me is, I was like, damn, I'm not the only one like this. There's other people like this, and we are all products of our environment. It's not just me. It just sound cool because I came from some bullshit. Like, but to
Right.
be real, if you from the burbs, you're a product of your environment. If you from the hood, you're a product. If you did a hybrid of both, you're a product of that environment. You cannot help but be what you were raised and taught around. Like, if I taught you that the sky was purple all your damn life and you never heard nobody say it was blue, then damn it, like, you gonna be like, yo, the sky purple, and y'all tweaking. Like, it
Right.
just is what it is. Like, so
Mhm.
therefore, end of the day, like, nah, we all are dope and we all are unique. And everybody need, and my whole thing is that's the journey that I'm on at this portion in my life. There is no right, there is no wrong. There is only your choices and how
Yeah.
you choose to live life. And if you choose to go and talk to somebody and that helps, then damn it, go talk to somebody, because that helps. And if that's what you need to help you function, that's your choice. Go do that. Like, you should live every day the way you choose to live it. And
Right.
wrapping it all up to make a home run out of the park, to bring it all back. We need to do that in our community too. We need to be more accepting of each other. Different strokes, different folks. We got some crazy people. We got some dreadheads. We got some lawyers. We got some doctors. We got some dope people. We got some F ups. We got all that, man. But um, that being said, I love my people. Like, from the crazies
Hmm.
to the successfuls to millionaires to the bums, whatever. I love my people. And if we gonna do better, like, do better in your house. Love people more. Don't take no shit off people. Excuse my French, because that's not what I'm advocating for at all. Because I ain't with none of the nonsense at all. So I ain't taking no shit off you because you black. Let's just be clear. Don't think you can run up on me, because I will get ignorant. But I'm trying to love first, and I'm trying to be a more loving person.
I
And I
know
don't
that.
think we got enough people advocating that. We everybody trying to be so tough.
Right.
I want to lead with love. Unless
Yeah.
you get ignorant, then
It is what it is, right?
And you know, when you come
no.
from a certain type of way, that's a learned skill. Like
100.
I had to learn to love, like learn to lead with love, learn to be patient, learn to accept the unacceptable. Meaning, if this person isn't like me or don't think like me, do I got to be looking at them all crazy, like they crazy, or maybe do I just hear what they got to say? It might make some sense. You know what I mean? So I had to learn how to accept things or accept people, and it's made me more patient. And just trying different things. You know, after I talk to somebody and spaz out, by the end of the conversation and a couple of tears, and they say, well, okay, well, maybe you should try this. Or maybe when you get frustrated, you keep your rubber band right here and pop your rubber band. I think I popped the shit out of my wrist for like a year, like right after my dad passed away. Just pop, just hurt. You know what I mean? Like you feel this thing, you like, damn, I'm gonna stop doing that. You either gonna stop doing that or start thinking right. You know, you're not crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. You know, to know that I'm extraordinary. And I had to start telling myself, like, I'm not weird. People used to say I was weird when I was younger. Like, you weird. Like, I'm not weird. And it made me laugh when I heard chains.
All I know this right here. Some of the
You
richest
heard the
people
song Chains.
some of the richest people that people call weird got the most money. Because they call
But
Steve Jobs
the
weird.
song Chains, the way you say,
100. Believe it or
the way you
not,
say weird.
and this is my final message. And I really got to go, y'all. I really got to go. But I was, and we'll probably talk about this another time. But I was bullied for a nice amount of
Oh,
grammar school, like
wow.
low key. Um, Bully. I was weird, and I ain't had no damn money. So I remember at one point in 7th grade, motherfuckers would be predicting my outfit because I only had like 2 pair of pants and like 4 shirts and like 1 pair of shoes. So they knew I was gonna wear the next day. So that was the thing. Like kids was harsh to me, yo.
Yeah, too.
Like, so I get it. I get everybody that's been called weird. I get everybody that's, and this is where I thank my father, even though, whatever, like I would have been dead if it weren't for that man. Because had I not been a seeker of knowledge and been so obsessive with the things I am and educating myself, I would have thought that something was legitimately wrong with me. And I probably would have gave up on life a long time ago because they told me I couldn't, not only could they told me I couldn't rap, but it was a whole bunch of stuff I couldn't do. Like the draw, like I can draw. I can draw anything I see to the T. My draw, like for a while, that you weren't gonna make it in that. I got shunned on everything, man. Like, so that being said, man, like if anybody's watching this, man, like ain't no such thing as weird in my opinion. You uniquely are
You
you.
different.
Yeah, you different. Like you might not vibe with the same stuff we vibe with, but it ain't no right or no wrong to this thing we call life, man. It's just the way you living it. So live it and F everybody else. Make get in tune and get lost. So
Absolutely. I'm with that. I'm with that. I'm with
I
that.
can dig it.
So
I
take
can
us
dig it.
home.
did you say take us home?
I did.
Yeah.
What you mean take us home?
Weird. Take us home. Take
What you
us
mean take
home.
us home? When they say take us home, that mean like prayer. Like,
Oh
I'm
no.
like, what you
Oh my
talking about?
God.
No,
No.
we talking
I'm
about,
saying take us home.
close
Close
out
us out.
for us.
Take us
Yeah, close it
home.
out.
Hit us with some chains. Hit us with that song that's now my favorite. I can't think of the name of it. Nicole, what's wrong with you? It starts with an F, I think. No.
F?
No. What's the song?
Finesse?
What's the song with my girl in it? That's my favorite
Finesse
song.
or one of a kind?
Finesse. That's what it is. Finesse.
Bro, everybody going crazy. Like y'all making me feel crazy, man. I had a
Finesse
whole
is
plan for my album. I think I might have to shoot Finesse next. Like
finesse
Finesse
is
is
the
the number
banger.
one
What do
song.
you mean? Finesse is hot. That's my favorite song. I
That's
love change.
everybody's favorite song.
Finesse. Finesse is finesse.
Well,
Yeah,
you definitely gotta get the people what they want. You know what I mean?
I thought one of a kind was the major one on the album, man. I thought that was the crossover joint, but Finesse is everybody
But
just shout out to
but
Fox Montana and Holly D. Bobs, man.
That's how
but
it.
Jay,
That's how it usually be though. It don't never be what you think.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jay. You got an ear for your music, but the consumer and the listener from the outside looking in got a totally different ear. And so,
Yeah,
you know,
that's what we do it for, man. That's what we do it for. So I'm gonna respect y'all, man. Like if we keep going this route, then finesse gonna have to be the next push, man. But anyway, man, let me get up out of here. Love, I'll probably be in tune with y'all tomorrow, man. Appreciate y'all having me on, man. Being patient with me and my long-winded ass.
I could have sworn that you was down for the count today. You was out of service. You was taking care of business. You was working. So
I definitely am, and I got to get back to it. I'm a half hour late right now.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Jacob, for bringing them in. Talk to you tomorrow.
Peace.
All right, one.